मैं कौन हूँ, ठीक है?
ओके। मुझे पता है स्नूपी को बाहर जाना है ना?
करेक्ट।
अब तुम ये गेस करो ये क्या है? चल हट, शू, भाग जा।
इजी, मिसेस शर्मा फॉर्म 601। अच्छा, अब बताओ ये कौन है?
Easy, Grandpa is snoring.
राइट।
Okay, now let's see if you get this. Honey, surprise. I'm just going to light up next to you. मजा आ रहा है ना? ये हमारी छोटी सी सीक्रेट है.
A child can be abused by anyone. Just about anyone.
Yes, a child can be abused by anyone, just about anyone. As you saw, 95% of the offenders are somebody known to the child. Could be a family member, a distant relative, a stranger on the bus, an older boy in school, or an older girl, or a woman too, or a neighbor. It could be anybody. Do you know how many children are being sexually abused in India? The statistics are staggering. According to the National Crime Records Bureau, there are 170 cases being recorded per day, 7 cases per hour. According to a study in 2007 by the Ministry of Women and Child Development, they found that in India, 1 in 2 children are experiencing some form of sexual abuse. 1 in 5 children experiencing severe sexual abuse. The numbers are staggering. Now hear this. India is home to 400 million children. Can you imagine the enormity of the problem? It's massive. So what is child sexual abuse? Child sexual abuse is any sexual act directed towards a child for the sexual gratification of the more powerful person. It can be in various forms, contact or non-contact. What I mean by that is, non-contact can be in the ways of showing a child pornography, making a child watch a sexual act, using abusive language. Contact can be sexual assault of various ways, penetrative or non-penetrative, kissing, fondling, any kind of contact abuse. And the victim can also be anybody of any gender. Do you think boys get sexually abused? The answer is yes. It's a misnomer that we have to only protect our girls. According to the study that I quoted recently of the 2007 by the Ministry of Women and Child, they found that 53% boys are sexually abused and 47% girls. Isn't that shocking? If there's any one thing that you can take away from today, please protect boys as much as girls. It's our responsibility to do so. The impact can be lifelong and devastating if a child has been exposed to sexual abuse or experienced it. And it can be lifelong. As a child grows up into an adolescent, or if an adolescent has experienced it into adulthood, right till when you're even old, it doesn't go away unless healed. A child could experience lack of sleep, could become more aggressive, could indulge in promiscuous behavior, inability to trust anybody. And as a person grows, can indulge in substance abuse, feel anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation. The list is endless, and the impact can be varying. My own exposure to the impact and the issue came 19 years ago. I was sitting in a hall watching a play, 30 Days in September. It showcased the trauma of an adult survivor who'd experienced sexual abuse by her uncle when she was a child. As I sat in that hall, lots of thoughts went into my head. If there is a play on this, it needs to be a larger problem. I came out of that hall shocked, wanting to know more. I reached home and started Googling about the issue. Wanted to learn more about it. Which NGOs are working on it? What is the government doing? And I found, to my dismay, that hardly any work was happening on the issue. And at that time, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to change status quo. I'm going to bend rules. Fast forward 2 years. I took on somebody who understood the issue so that we could start addressing it. I myself have a background of graphic design, very new to the social sector, actually knew nothing. I started from zero and worked in a vacuum. It was daunting for sure, but there was something in me that was telling me, this is something I must pursue. It felt like I had found my calling. And so we started conducting awareness sessions with parents and teachers. Of course, it was met with a lot of denial. As you can imagine, in our society, we don't like to talk about such issues, right? It's so taboo, all under the carpet. And so people would respond saying, oh, my child is safe. My school is safe. This probably happens in the slums. Those were the kind of responses we were met with. But slowly, mindsets started changing. Thanks to more reporting in the media about cases of sexual abuse, people started acknowledging the issue and finally started saying, we can't brush this anymore. We need to address it because we must keep our children safe from any kind of abuse and sexual abuse. We then started thinking, how do we focus on building a model in a structured manner so that we can reach out to maximum children in schools? We also wanted to address children who could be experiencing sexual abuse right this very moment. And so we developed the personal safety education model, a unique school-based prevention life skills model that probably no other organization in the world is right now implementing it. And what I mean by this model is we work in a very structured manner once we get into a school. We do trainings with parents and teachers so that they better understand how to address sexual abuse. If a child comes and discloses an unsafe touch that child is experiencing, how should a parent respond? As you can relate to, very often we'll blame the child, right? Oh, but why did you go there? I had told you not to go there, right? But that's not what the children want to hear. The children want to hear, I'm right here. Thank you for telling me. So these are little skills that we help empower parents and teachers with. With children, we do 4 to 6 lesson plans, teaching them differences about safe and unsafe touches. Children don't get it till you tell them. They are usually confused about what they could be experiencing. And so it's important to help them identify what are those differences, what are safe situations, unsafe situations. Help them understand that they must go and tell somebody about it. If they have the confidence at that time to refuse, say no, and get away from that situation as soon as they can, and keep telling till they get the help they need. And most importantly, remember that it's never their fault that they experience sexual abuse. That one concept has life-changing impact, because for the first time, a child could be hearing that it's not my fault that it happened to me. Otherwise, we all live with a lot of shame and guilt, and it's true for adults too. I'd like to tell you a story. In one of our parent training sessions in a school, a 72-year-old grandmother walked up to one of our trainers and said, I hear that you're doing the same training again next weekend. Can I come and attend it? The trainer looked perplexed. Why would you want to come again, ma'am? You've just attended, it's going to be the same session. And she said, I want to hear you say that what happened to me as a child was not my fault. Can I come again? The next question for us was, how do we take this ahead? How do we get personal safety education to every single child in the country? And so 10 years ago, we started training teachers, paraprofessionals, social workers, counselors on how to teach children personal safety education. We started partnering with the national government, the Ministry of Education and Health. We started partnering with state governments to integrate curriculum at the national and state level and training teachers pan-India. So far, I'm very proud to say, we have trained over 200,000 teachers over the country. And as I speak, there is a little village in Jalgaon where right now a teacher is teaching personal safety education to children. As I speak, there is a little village in Rudraprayag in Uttarakhand where a teacher is teaching personal safety education to children. In a little village in Korba district of Chhattisgarh, children are being taught personal safety education. We've slowly begun to reach the last mile and to want to fulfill a vision of reaching every child with personal safety education. We've also created all our courses into digital medium. Over 130,000 children and adults have accessed our digital courses so that they can learn personal safety education outside a school environment as well. In fact, we have some users in Guatemala, in Central America, in the US, in China, in Brazil, in Philippines as well, wanting to truly see a world free from child sexual abuse, which our vision is. Healing continues to be a very integral part of what we do. Whether it's an adult survivor, whether it's a child, we focus on how can we enable the healing journeys in the best possible way. It's not easy, but it's not difficult too. It takes consistent effort and can take time, but healing can happen. And for thousands of children and adults, we've enabled these journeys. I want to share a story with you. An adult survivor, a woman, came to us for counseling. She had lost her self-worth. She thought she was a mere object to be passed around and used. Because of her experience of sexual abuse as a child, she had lost her identity. But slowly, with therapy, bit by bit, she started to find her identity. She started to feel like a human being again, with feelings, thoughts, and emotions. Actually feeling alive for the first time. She found her self-worth again. And like a larva turns into a butterfly, she turned into a human being, alive and kicking because of therapy. There's another beautiful instance that I'd like to share with you. We were providing therapy to rescued minors in an institution. They were either rescued from their homes because they were experiencing sexual abuse at home, or they had been trafficked. Two friends. One girl sitting on the side alone for quite some time. So this other girl, who's a friend, walks up to her and says, "You haven't eaten anything since morning. Can I bring you something to eat?" And this other girl rebukes her angrily. "No, leave me alone. I don't want anything." And so she again asks, "Can I bring you something to eat? You must eat something. You haven't eaten anything since morning." And the other girl again angrily says, "No, leave me alone. Go away. I don't want to eat anything." And so this other girl looks at her with a lot of empathy in her eyes. "I know you're not angry at me. I'm sure there's something going on in your mind, which is why you're angry. I don't think it's about me." Imagine this kind of understanding. And it comes because through therapy, we also empower children and adults with the understanding of how the brain alters because of trauma. It's true. Because of trauma, our brain alters. And so we talk about neurobiology with all the individuals we work with. And hence, this kind of deeper understanding comes in. This kind of healing journey begins because we finally understand what has happened to us. This is the essence of Arpan's work. I'm so proud to share that we've impacted 2.4 million children and adults so far, and we are still counting. We have won 6 national level awards and 2 international level awards for our exemplary work. We've become a thought leader in the space of child sexual abuse in India and have also got global recognition for the work that we are doing. What a journey it has been. Starting with a 2-member team 16 and a half years ago, today we're a team of over 120 professionals, social workers, counselors, other professionals. It wasn't easy. But when I look back and ask myself, would I do anything else? The answer is no. I would still do this again and again. No matter the blood, the sweat that has gone into it, sometimes the gut-wrenching fear I have felt as an individual, as a leader, it feels like this is it. I would want to be a catalyst to enable change within myself and in the world around me. I welcome you to join the movement. I ask of you to become more aware about the issue of child sexual abuse so that we can better protect every single child we know of. The responsibility of safety lies on us, adults, and we need to play that role. So do read up more, do see what you could do in your own environment to help keep children safe from sexual abuse. It is unacceptable that a child experiences sexual abuse. It is unacceptable that an adult lives an entire lifetime with the impact of it. We can say stop. We can say no more. We can say no. Because we can bend the rules when we decide to. Thank you.